With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Now the Michigan man, Jake Moody, to get us started.
And off we go from Seattle.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And they'll run. It's Ken Walker.
And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
To throw is Darnold.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now it's Darnold. He's going to wind up and air it out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. That's taken on the 25. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10.
At about the 32. Slot man moves right.
Now Purdy. Got a man. That's Aiyuk.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over his next few plays.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
They'll get this into the hands of Aiyuk.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
Well, when you're facing a receiver like this, you always come into a game thinking, we've got to put our best corner on him. We've got to find a way to get him off his routes, limit his touches. But that plan, not working too well on this opening drive. That's already 2 catches for him, and this one, good for a first down.
Throwing here, Purdy. A throw left side for Pearsall is complete.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
Touchdown! Juwan Jennings. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the 49ers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3 and out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the 1st down.
Off of play action, Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
He completes this to Walker.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll try for the 1st with Walker.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And he's taken in by the tight end Fant.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 30 yards.
And the Seahawks are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3. Purdy going to give it to Garendo. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Purdy from the gun.
Over the middle, complete. That's Jennings. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
From the 46, here's a 2nd and 4. Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Back to throw, Purdy.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 2. Here's Purdy.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Back to throw again.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. A little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Play action, now Purdy.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
7-7, our score after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Purdy now to throw.
And he slides to a halt inside the 10. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
McCaffrey will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown.
Boy, we talk a lot about Christian McCaffrey and what he can do in the open field, and it's easy to gloss over how tough he can be to stop near the goal line. And he shows you just how tough he is on that carry as he takes it into the end zone.
Now Moody for the PAT.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level. Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 60 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
Here's Darnold. First down, Seahawks. Marquez Valdez-Scantling from 3 yards out.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from drawing level. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10.
At their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's multiple times now he's tagged him with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
On first down, this is McCaffrey.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Purdy looking to throw.
Gets this one to Juszczyk. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football.
And this one nearly picked off. Well, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
That's caught out right by Jennings. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. The slot man in motion right.
Throwing here, Purdy. That's over the middle and caught by Pearsall. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You want to put together a long drive? You've got to be able to convert on 3rd down, and they've done exactly that on this one. Sure enough, came up with another conversion right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Pass caught by Pearsall.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5.
McCaffrey on the toss right. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
3rd down and 1.
Back to throw. Purdy. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And his kick is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Seahawks take back over. Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
And this one is incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. By that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back them up halfway. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. McCaffrey following the penalty. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. From the 50, it's Darnold. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way full steam, and he broke that one up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Darnold. This is Fant on the short completion. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. Oh, a good-looking return setup here. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Now, this is a feeling I can relate to all too well. Deflation on 3rd and short. Excellent coverage, took away all the short routes, but the one person who wasn't accounted for, the quarterback, and he used his legs to hot-foot it for a 1st down.
Purdy.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Out of the gun, Purdy. That's complete to Pearsall.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Back to throw, Purdy.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle from 6 yards away.
And the 49ers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point try now for Moody.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now it's Darnold.
He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Faking the give, Darnold.
Has it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 36. First target, first catch, and a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Back to throw, Darnold.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Myers' kick is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Niners set to take over on offense.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
Second down and 3. Here's Purdy.
Over the middle, it's complete.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Connects with Kittle underneath.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 1 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Purdy now to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Purdy looking to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon.
There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, we've seen him target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will tie us at 24. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On second down and 4, Purdy. Hauled in left side here by Jennings.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Darnold now to throw. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Myers' kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now a give right side McCaffrey. And he's got some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
92 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing here, Purdy. Pass caught by Pearsall.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
2nd and 9. Shotgun now with Purdy.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that in the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Looking to throw. Purdy.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is right there. It's good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And able to get this out to the 25.
And out now come the Seahawks.
And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Running left is Walker.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Darnold.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10.
At their own 13. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the 1st down with his legs instead.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And it's out. He put it on the carpet.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Purdy.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Here is 3rd down and 4. We're just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game.
Back to throw, Purdy. They'll find Farrell open left side.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A play fake, and it's Darnold.
Smith and Jigba with a grab.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's 2nd down. Faking the give, Darnold. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Darnold from the gun, and this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Fred Warner.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Purdy, throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Purdy. Touchdown 49ers!
Brandon Aiyuk.
A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Niners have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Moody good with the extra point.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 7. A little under 2.5 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Darnold gets this to Fant.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Darnold to throw. Going right back to Fant.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Darnold.
Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
That'll be caught. It's caught. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there? Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Throwing, Purdy.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Purdy to throw.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Pressure comes as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
All 3 timeouts remain. How much that'll matter remains to be seen. It's 1st and 10. Here's Purdy.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jennings. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
So it all comes down to the right foot of Jake Moody.
This a long one from 54. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So they tried to ice him there, but it's fair to say it did not have the intended effect.
And I've known kickers that take it as an affront. And there he says, you think you're going to rattle me? Think again.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away.
And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.